She was, they were very nice. I still take care of John's car.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
He's my neighbor,
Yeah,
John Marion, yeah.
and your old neighbor you lost because she moved, the Holmgrens.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they got a beautiful place up off of West Elm Street.
Yeah.
Hello.
Oh, how you doing?
Good to you.
Feels like summer out there. It's actually above freezing.
They say that it's gonna start snowing at 6.
Might be snowing when we go out. So if we go quick, maybe we can beat the snow.
I was looking for that. What is it? I was looking to put the lights on.
It's right there behind the chair. See?
Oh, okay. I got it.
Did you scratch it? Did you?
God, they got me on TV here already. Got you too.
Yeah. But I think it's not live. Though.
Microphones are on.
Yeah.
Tap yours. Is yours on?
Oh no, I turned it off.
What'd you turn it off?
The button over here.
Right there?
No, here. There's one.
Oh,
Yep. See over here? You press it.
I never knew that.
I'll have to give you another.
You keep pressing.
Have to hold it.
Hold it. It's not though. You wanna open it up? But you wanna keep it on, right?
Yeah,
Now?
Yeah, I will. I'll point it out that way. Where's the control? Oh, the control box is over here. I've never run this thing.
Oh, it's on? I think it's on because I can hear it.
You? first two cases we will do
Harold,
is
Harold Avenue?
number 6 and number 7. Number 6 is gonna be 1. 7 is gonna be 2. 4 will be 3. 5 will be 4. And 6 will be 5. You got that? So the first one is 2604. That'll be the third case. 2605 will be the fourth case. 2606 will be the first case. 2607 will be the second case.
Okay.
And 2608 will be the fifth case.
Okay. I will put it on the floor.
And how you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm all right. What an awful game Sunday.
Huh?
What an awful game Sunday.
Hey.
That may have been the worst Super Bowl I've seen.
Well, you know, when you think back over the course of the season, they won a number of games by crazy things. One crazy play cost the other team lost, Patriots won. Yeah,
Yeah, I think if we had a solid offensive line, it would have been a totally different game.
yeah.
I mean, make our sack how many times? You know?
He had no time at all.
No.
One thing about Brady, he used to take a step back.
Hey, David.
Let it go.
Hey, Jim. Hey, bro. Good, you?
Always had receiver.
Surviving.
This guy,
Surviving the day.
hung on to the
Yes.
ball, looking left, looking right, trying to find a receiver.
When you're going back up, right?
He did not get rid of the ball.
Started off in Fall River.
And the problem was,
Today,
receivers couldn't get open.
You need a ride or anything Friday? Before they even-
No,
I think we have to change 5. He's Jane first too. The 3 cases.
and funny, but,
So this and this and this are him. So the 3 of them, he wants to be the first one.
Okay.
So we have to change for,
So 5's gonna be 3.
yes.
3 will be 4. 4 will be 5. So we're gonna hear Carroll Avenue, and Perkins Street.
Yes.
Then we'll hear Summer Street and River Avenue.
I did this time because
Makes sense.
Right?
it's great.
for me, it's not a problem.
No.
When I lived in Easton,
Yeah.
and, you know, that's an option.
Yeah.
But Doc Perovich, I just had this discussion with
State
him.
10th.
He said,
Yes.
"Well,
This one seems to be on. We're on. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Zoning Board of Appeals meeting for the month of February of 2026. Board, this evening, members that will be hearing the cases is Member Stephen Leanis, Member Monique Screenberry, Fire Chief Brian Nardelli, Member James Sweeney, and myself, Chair Kenneth Galligan. Our zoning enforcement officer this evening is Mr. William Forte, the building inspector, building commissioner, and zoning enforcement officer. Our recording secretary this evening is Lily Gavita. Prior to the start of the meeting, I will ask anybody that has a cell phone or electronic device either to shut it off or put it on silent so it doesn't disrupt the meeting. If you need to use your cell phone, I would appreciate if you take it out into the corridor. Prior to the start of the meeting, I also will tell you that this meeting this evening is being recorded on Brockton Cable Television, and it will be shown throughout the next month. So just be aware that everything in the room is being recorded tonight. Prior to the start of the hearing, there is an opportunity for any petitioner to withdraw without prejudice. So at this time, I will ask if there are any presenters that want to withdraw prior to the start of the meeting. Seeing none, we have 5 cases this evening. The format of the meeting will be, I will call the case. The presenter or the petitioner will come up to the podium, present the case to the board. At the end of the presentation, I will ask if any of the board members have any questions relative to the testimony that had just been given. If there are no questions between the presenter and the board, I will close that portion of the hearing and I'll open up for public discussion. I will first ask if there is anyone in the room that wants to speak in favor of the petition. I will then ask if there is anybody that wants to speak in opposition. I will then ask if there's any elected official or appointed official in the room that wants to be heard on the issue. And lastly, I will ask if there is anyone in the room who has any question relative to the testimony that has been given. At that point, I will close that portion of the hearing, which concludes the public discussion, and I will then open it up for discussion among the board members. This is the time during the hearing when you will hear the board members deliberating back and forth on the merits of the case. At some point, you will hear a board member make a motion to grant. If that is seconded, I will then have the clerk call the roll. He will poll the members, and at the end of the polling, he will tell me what the vote is. At the conclusion, I will announce what the vote is, and I will announce whether or not the petition has been granted or denied. So that's the format of the meeting. We have 5 cases tonight. As an accommodation for an attorney that has another commitment tonight, I am going to adjust the format or the order that we're in. So, the first case to come before the board tonight is case number 2606, the petition of Cedar Point LLC, 48 North Pearl Street, Brockton, Mass., for a variance seeking relief from Section 27(9), Table 1, to amend the previously granted variance to construct a smaller single-family dwelling on a lot lacking area and frontage setbacks in an R1C zone located at 76 Carroll Avenue.
Mr. Chairman, members of the Zoning Board of Appeals, I'm Attorney Jim Burke with offices at 48 North Pearl Street in Brockton. I have the pleasure of representing the applicant, Michael Heichel. I'm sure everyone on this board was available for the original presentation in relation to the lots in Carroll Avenue. They were already existing lots, so we have 2 applications. And the zoning board granted relief and allowed a single-family home to be constructed on each. The young developer determined that it was in his best interest to sell to Mr. Heichel, who has a great deal of experience in the development of infill housing in the city of Brockton. And he, in making an economic determination, has decided that the best development of this specific site would be for a smaller footprint rather than the footprint that was approved by the board. Because of that, because of the change and the board approved the specific housing, I believe it has to come back for an amendment. The house is the so-called Gormley house that you've seen in a number of instances. And essentially, I basically reiterate the issues that led to the board's determination. It's an existing residential neighborhood. It'll be an excellent upgrade in housing. The entire community's frontage is essentially identical. It will provide housing that's needed in the city of Brockton, and it'll be new and I think a positive development for the neighborhood. But Scott, do you want to go down and identify exactly what the change is?
Thank you. As Attorney Burke said, I'm not sure how well you can see it, but the previous plan had this blue house highlighted. It fit on the lot, met all the zoning requirements. It was just a bigger house. It was about 36 feet across, had a two-car garage in the front, a front-facing garage. As Attorney Burke said, this is your typical Gormley house that we're going back more and more to, about a 28 by 34-foot house, a much smaller colonial house, front-facing door, front-facing orientation. So really, that's it. The house still meets all the zoning setbacks as it was previous, and we still have the Sweeney tree in each corner like we had previously. So we haven't got rid of that yet. So
It's important.
And Mr. Heichel's here if there are any specific questions you may have of him. Otherwise, I hope the board can see this is a positive development in terms of a modification that's maybe in the best interest of the city.
So just basically a less of a side yard setback than there was before. Right?
exactly, still conforming. The other one conformed, just a smaller footprint.
That's what I kind of got out of it when we looked at it.
So just for the edification of the board, the reason really that they're here tonight is the decision that was rendered on the original granting of the variance specifically referenced the size of the dwelling that was before us that night. So now they want to change the dwelling to allow for more elbow room, actually, between all the houses. And that's why they're here tonight, because the design is different than the last one. We've already approved, really, the variance to allow those houses to be built. It's just a design change that was written into the decision. Everybody good?
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, I'll close that portion of the hearing. Is there anyone here that wants to speak in favor? Seeing none, I'll close that portion of the hearing. Is there anyone who wants to speak in opposition? Seeing none, I'll close that portion of the hearing. Is there any elected or appointed official that wants to be heard on the issue? Counselor.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, board members. I'm Phil Griffin. I'm the Ward 3 City Councilor. Carroll Ave is in Ward 3. It's a very nice neighborhood with a lot of long-term residents. I think this development will really be an asset to the neighborhood. The previous plan, although I did come in favor of it, I think this is even better because it's going to be a smaller footprint with more green spaces. And I think it'll just be a better look for the neighborhood. So I encourage you to pass this tonight. I know Mr. Heichel, he's assured me during the construction process the residents will not be disturbed in any way. Thank you very much for your consideration. Board members, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Is there any other elected official who wants to be heard? Seeing none, I'll close that portion of the hearing. Is there anyone in the room that has a question relative to the testimony that has been given? Seeing none, I'll close that portion of the hearing. That concludes the public discussion. I'll now open it up for deliberation among the board members. Board members.
I think this is a relatively easy one. Seeing the new footprint for it, I believe this developer has kind of trademarked that on Pleasant Street. There's two similar homes that you can see over there. They look great. Downsizing and adding more green space, I have no issue with it.
A motion to grant?
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to grant. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Lanus,
Yes.
Chief Nardelli,
Yes.
James Sweeney,
Yes.
Mrs. Greenberry,
Yes.
Chair Galligan.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, that is 5 in the affirmative.
The vote is 5 in the affirmative, none in the negative. The revision to the original plan is granted.
Thank the board for its time.
Don't go away.
Get the next one.
The next petition is 2607, the petition of Cedar Point LLC, 48 North Pearl Street, Brockton, Mass. For a variance seeking relief from Section 27-9, Table 1, to amend the previously granted variance to construct a smaller, single-family dwelling on a lot lacking area and frontage setbacks in an R1C zone located at 82 Carroll Avenue.
And, officially, for the record, I believe the board previously granted a variance, and the proposed house is going to be less of an impact in the neighborhood, and I think will benefit the neighborhood as a whole. Thank you.
Board members, any questions?
All jokes aside, do we have the trees in the plan still?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. They're the
Okay, I'm
two
good.
green circles.
Thank you.
So again, as in the last case, the primary reason they're here tonight to amend this is that in the decision that was granted, it specifically described a house that was going on the lot, and they've changed the house, and that's why they're here tonight. Board good?
Good.
Yeah, I'll close that portion of the hearing. Is there anyone in the room that wants to be heard in favor? Seeing none, I'll close that portion of the hearing. Is there anyone in opposition? Seeing none, I'll close that portion of the hearing. Is there any elected official in the room that wants to be heard on the issue?
Good evening again, Mr. Chairman, board members. I just want to express what I did last time. This is a good development for Carroll Ave. It's good for the city of Brockton. Mr. Heichel is a very good developer with a great reputation, so I encourage you to pass this also. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Counselor. Any other elected official in the room that wants to be heard on the issue? Seeing none, I'm going to close that portion of the hearing. Is there anyone in the room that has any question relative to the testimony that has been given? Seeing none, I'm going to close that portion of the hearing. That concludes the public discussion. I'm now going to open it up for deliberation among the board members. Board members.
I'll motion to grant.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to grant. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Lanus,
Yes.
I have a different name down here. I have Jamie Hodges. Yeah. So, right, it's, okay, yep, sorry. Miss Greenberry,
Yes.
Mr. Sweeney,
Yes.
Chief Nardelli,
Yes.
and Chair Galligan.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Chair, that is 5-0.
The vote is 5 in the affirmative, none in the negative. The revision to the original plan is granted.
Thank the board for its time.
Good luck.
All right, Michael, thank you.
The next petition is 2608, the petition of Max and Ted Realty, LLC, 2 Jennifer Way, Southeastern Mass, for a variance, seeking relief from Section 2720 and 2734 to allow a Class II license for the sale of motor vehicles, fencing, and security barriers that exceed the height of the ordinance requirements in an I-2 zone located at 41 Perkins Street, Plot 24 Perkins Street.
I thank the chairman. My name is Attorney Jim Burke. I have offices at 48 North Pearl Street, and I have the pleasure of representing David Brass, an old friend. David and his dad started a business, as we know, in George's in 1946 on Warren Avenue, and has been a fixture. There is a development going on around it, plus the business has expanded, and they purchased some years ago this lot on Perkins Street as a location they could move to. It is in an I-2 zone. We have basically 2 requests. Of course, you're familiar with the fact that there is a towing service involved at that location. There is a repair of motor vehicles that's been there since 1946. And he also has a Class 2 license that he's going to request be transferred to the Perkins Street location if the board grants a variance. Interestingly enough, there's authorization in I-2 for new cars, but not for used cars. The second request is, he's had this property a bit and has had problems with vandalism and encroachment from outside sources, really in two ways. I know everybody on the board is familiar with this. This is an industrial area. Knight is across the street. You've got body shops up the street, and it backs up to the MBTA track. People actually just cut through the fence and enter the property that way. He's had significant problems with a three-family residential structure that's to the south of the property. So what he's proposing is he would like to construct a 10-foot wall along the residential property, and you can see the buffering that we're proposing to add to mitigate any real impacts it would have on that property. He's also going to maintain a solid wall along the MBTA track to try to prevent the activity that's been consistently moving. He's going to have in addition to some green space in the front, it will be a chain link fence similar to what is there already. Basically, there is more than sufficient parking. The station service is allowed in an I-2 zone. So that really limits the need of what we need in terms of a request, but this is going to be George's garage future home. And I would just add that while there is a towing service, the vehicles won't be towed to that lot. They'll be towed separately. That's not going to be a problem. The only cars that essentially will be there stacked would be what they're working on, plus employees. And what few I-2, or rather, Class 2 licenses there are for sale, and there's actually been a minimal activity in sales for this license over the years. However, they certainly want to keep it. So that's essentially it.
What type of material are you going to use for the wall? What are we making?
I think it's concrete.
Yeah, concrete.
It's meant to be solid concrete wall.
Okay.
Yep.
And how high would that concrete wall be along the south border?
It's 10 feet on the south border.
10 feet.
10 feet.
With shrubbery, right, in front of it?
With shrubbery.
Yeah, just, so we've got the wall 10 feet from the lot line, so there'll be a 10-foot green strip that'll have a double row of arborvitaes. As you know, the arborvitaes will get to be 20 feet tall, so they'll still go over the wall, and that'll kind of shield the existing residents from that 10-foot high wall.
Shielding we may be doing, but it's actually security for them because
Sure.
they've been climbing over
Yeah.
whatever he has there, and he's had major problems. And he thinks it's a valid, legitimate request to have an unusually high wall. And he's taking the steps to try to provide the board evidence of acknowledging that and providing an impact buffer.
And the project still needs site plan approval, so we'll still go to tech review, go through all the departments, and then go to the planning board for stormwater, the utilities, the landscaping, everything else. I have the landscaping shown, but that would be subject to approval from the planning board.
So I guess my point with the landscaping is he's not just putting up a brick wall, he's actually beautifying that brick wall at the same time.
Certainly, yes. As well as across the front of the property,
Sure.
there's
Yep.
landscaping across the front as well.
Is that going to be painted, or is it going to be cinder block? I mean, can you paint some kind of picture as to what we're looking at?
Solid cement is what he plans.
A poured concrete wall,
Poured
basically.
concrete wall.
Okay.
Just as an editorial comment on that wall, they can pour a cement wall that architecturally looks much better than a just plain old, simple wall. that really should be investigated to make it look a little bit more attractive. In other words, when they put the forms up, they can do things that will make that wall look kind of attractive. The other question is, this wall that we're talking about is going to set 10 feet back onto the petitioner's property.
Correct.
The arborvitae's will be between the adjacent property and the wall.
That is correct.
I think we need to be specific that the maintenance of those arborvitae's is going to be the responsibility of the petitioner.
Yes, sir.
So if they die off in the first year, it's going to be his responsibility to replace those and maintain them. So as far as the used car vehicles, this allows only new sales of new vehicles, and that's what you're asking for, is to allow the sale of used vehicles.
Correct, that's exactly correct.
When the ordinance says only new vehicles. Okay, I got that. Now, this fence that you're going to put along Perkins Street, how high is that fence proposed to be?
I think the existing fence that's there now, he wants to replace, but it's 8 feet.
Okay. And what about along the railroad tracks in the back? Is that going to be
That's going to be a solid wall, and I would suggest that we'd be more than happy to explore the architectural impact of the wall, but I think it would be limited to the residential portion. I don't think you need it in the MBTA.
Isn't there a wall in the back now along the tracks?
Chain link fence, I thought.
Just a chain link fence?
The ground slopes
David,
down.
David, come up, please. Give your name, please, and identify and respond to the question.
My name is David Brass. The railroad tracks are higher. It slopes down, and then there's a little tiny block wall. But I think that's theirs, because my fence is on this side of it.
So this fence will prevent people from going from the tracks, jumping over
Yeah.
onto your property. I understand. Okay, good. Gotcha.
Thank you.
And the other thing I noticed in your presentation was the fact that there will be no storage of towed cars or impounded cars. The only cars that we should see on the lot are the ones that are there for repairs, not storage of cars,
In the
correct?
Class 2, if there are Class 2 vehicles. So employee parking, parking for the vehicles that are being repaired, and whatever Class 2 vehicles.
And that's up to some other board to determine what's going to be put in there.
Yes.
Yeah, I just don't want to see that as a large storage yard for cars that are towed and they sit there month after month just for storage type thing. Yeah,
David was very specific that
yeah, I understand
vehicles
that.
will not be located there.
Okay, board members, any other questions?
Are you planning any barbed wire or anything like that for the front fence? What's the front fence going to look like?
I don't think there's any barbed wire on top of the fence. Yeah, it's just a tall chain link fence.
Okay,
And there'll be a sliding gate as well for the two entrances.
okay, chain link fence, no, there is barbed wire over there now?
I don't think there is. No.
No? At
No,
one
not
point,
that, not that we noticed at all, no.
Okay,
I actually drove the site, and I can't remember.
I think there is.
Yeah, at the very top, there might be something.
Yeah.
But it's going to be replaced, so.
Yeah, there is across the street here. I don't
Knight's
remember.
fence across the street is huge.
Okay.
The one thing that wasn't mentioned, but I'll bring it up, is lighting of the area. I would presume that you're going to have lights there at night for security.
Yeah, that's going to be done in site plan review.
Yeah.
And
My
and
personal
there'll be
opinion
downward
is,
lighting, so.
yeah, just so you don't flood the whole neighborhood down there with
Yeah.
lights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, typically for the site plan approval, we have a lighting plan that shows the spread of the light to make sure that it doesn't encroach on the neighbor's property, so we'll,
I think it's important that you understand how the zoning board feels about that.
sure,
We'd like to keep the lights on the property.
yep, understood.
All right, board members, any other questions?
I think lastly, I would just like to reiterate what the chief said. It's not too often we see that tall of a concrete wall. I think a good compromise would be to, have it better aesthetically pleasing with a form that can have some sort of architectural value to the neighborhood, so
Again, we're more than happy to explore it, and hopefully it can be limited to the abutting residential structure.
Okay.
We just don't see the need for the MBTA.
I'm not too concerned about the backside of that. It's just what
Basically
your
right there.
car's gonna drive and the neighbor's gonna see, so.
Yep.
Right.
I'm referring to the south borderline, that's all.
Yes.
Yeah, yep.
All right, board all set? We're going to close that portion of the hearing. Is there anyone in the room that wants to speak in favor? Seeing none, I'll close that portion of the hearing. Is there anyone that wants to speak in opposition? Seeing none, I'll close that portion of the hearing. Is there any elected official in the room that wants to be heard on the issue? Seeing none, I'll close that portion of the hearing. Is there anyone in the room that has a question relative to the testimony that has been given? Seeing none, I'll close that portion of the hearing. That concludes the public discussion. I'll now open it up for board deliberation. Members.
I think, you know, you look at a business that's been downtown on Warren Avenue since 1946, when a lot of people have moved out. The Brass family has stayed there. They've been a beacon. Their property is clean, well-maintained. They work in the city at ungodly hours, like the personnel that I work with all the time, working with the police department, towing vehicles. I think if the property on Warren Avenue that they have now is any testament to what this will look like, I'm sure it will be well-maintained. I think it's a good project, an industrial area where we're putting green and foliage that will mask that concrete wall. I think we very often, you know, we grant variances, we do different things on this board, but I think there's a lot of times we have to look at the history of the business and what they do for the community. That plays a huge role into the decisions I make, and I support this 110%.
Yeah, I'll just add on that if we can solve some problems that you may be having with that, I don't think the relief is egregious. I think it's well-suited to bring a property up, have it better looking, and serve the owner's purpose better, so I'd be in favor.
So just to reiterate, what we will be voting on tonight is this 10-foot wall on the south property line, that we are encouraging them to do something architecturally so it doesn't look like a blank wall. We are voting on allowing them a Class II license to sell used vehicles, where the law right now only allows new. We're allowing them to exceed the fence height that is in the city ordinance, and also mandating that the petitioner will maintain the green space that they have talking about on the south property line. That's what we're voting on.
Make a motion to grant.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to grant. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Lanus?
Yes.
Chief Nardelli?
Of course, yes.
Mr. Sweeney?
Yes.
Ms. Greenberry?
Yes.
Chair Galligan?
Yes.
Mr. Chair, that is 5 in the affirmative.
The vote is 5 in the affirmative, none in the negative. The petition as presented is granted.
Thank you, and thank you for accommodating our time. Appreciate it.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you, folks. Good night.
Next petition is 2604, the petitioner Raul Estrema, 552 Summer Street, Brockton, Mass. For a variance seeking relief from Section 27-9 to build an addition lacking front setback in an R1C zone located at 552 Summer Street. Please identify yourself to the board.
Raul Estremera.
All right, you want to explain to the board what you want to do?
So I'm trying to make an addition in the front of the house. It's going to line up with the existing home. It's just my house happens to be too close to the street. So it's the only option we have. The family's growing. My daughter's married now. She started her own family. So the house I bought is supposed to be forever home, so we can kind of grow in there and not have to She doesn't have to buy a house, it's too expensive anyway, but the property that I have, I think allows me to fit whatever family wants to come into it. And this is the beginning of it. Family's growing, and I want to start with the front, split the house so she can have half the house, her and her family, and I still have room for me and mine. And that's pretty much it. I mean, it's going to look just the same as a house. I've done a lot of work to the house, done additions. I was here about 5 years ago for a garage that I built out back. So now I'm building out front. And that's it. I mean, it's going to look nice. It's going to give my house more value, and it's going to allow us to kind of grow into it and stay there forever, hopefully. Pass it on.
Okay, you are requesting a variance from 27-9, which dictates the setback of the house from the street.
Correct.
When you're requesting a variance, you need to show somewhat of a hardship, whether it's related to the land, the topography, the soil. This, I'll ask you, this particular addition that you want to put on this house, there is no other location within the house that you could put this that would put it further back from the street. Is that correct?
Yeah, no, because the house is kind of, it's a weird shape. It's kind of like a long house. I got a lot of land. It's almost 1.7 acres, but it's all like spread towards the back, towards the wetland. In the house, the way it's shaped, I have the garages in the back, too close to the, which is why I was here the last time, because my setback to the neighbors was under the 15 feet allowance. So it kind of puts me in a place that the only way I can build is kind of to the front, and then maybe at some point eventually, if we need more room, kind of follow the same line towards the back of the house, kind of, because I'm trying to split it in a way where her and her family can have a certain portion of it, and I can still have my portion of the house. And that's the only layout that I came up dimensionally that would work for me.
So I'm understanding that your hardship is the location of the house and the foundation is such that it doesn't lend itself to allow you to put this
Correct.
anywhere else.
Correct. Yeah.
You need a total of 30 feet of side yard setback. You have just exactly 30 feet
Yeah.
when you consider the left side and the right side.
Correct.
So it's only the setback from the street, and there is no other place that you can put this.
That's correct, yeah.
Okay, board members. I'm sorry, you all done on your
Yes,
test?
yeah.
Now, this addition won't be any closer to the street than the current house?
No, no, it's going to be in the same elevation, same plane of the current house. Yeah. It's a small addition. It's not really not that big, but it's a bad area for where I want to put it.
Are you adding any bedrooms or bathroom in that space?
No, it's going to be a living space with a basement, because she has bedrooms upstairs, kitchen downstairs, so it's just going to kind of, she has a kitchen in the living room now. It's like 10 by 10, so now she'll be able to have a kitchen, and now a living space with a basement, so she can have room for the kids.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so this is going to be for family members.
That's correct, yeah.
We just want to be careful, this is not turning into
No.
a two-family house here.
No, this is for my family. That's the purpose of me having this property, is so my family doesn't have to ever worry about having a home.
So whatever happens here, this is remaining a single-family dwelling.
100%, yeah.
Good. All right, board members, any other questions? Everybody's good? I'm going to close that portion of the hearing. Is there anyone here that wants to speak in favor? Please give your name to the clerk.
My name's John Hagloff. I've been a resident of Brockton for 81 years. The last.
Address?
I'm sorry?
Address,
560 Summer Street.
560, thank you.
The last 15 years, Raul and his family have been my neighbors. And they were here about 5 years ago for a permit to build a garage, which was granted. The only thing that I can say is when their property is approved, the property surrounding theirs also improves. As far as neighbors go, they're the best. They're a close-knit family, and you couldn't ask for better neighbors. And I don't think there's anyone here that would object to what they're asking for. Of course, that's up to you.
So you want to be recorded in favor?
In favor, yes.
Very good, thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else that wants to speak in favor? Seeing none, I'll close that portion of the hearing. Is there anyone that wants to speak in opposition? Seeing none, I'll close that portion of the hearing. Is there any elected or appointed official in the room that wants to be heard on the issue? Seeing none, I'll close that portion of the hearing. Is there anyone in the room that has a question relative to the testimony that has been given? Seeing none, I'm going to close that portion of the hearing. That concludes the public discussion. I'm now going to open it up for board member deliberation. Board members.
Yeah, I don't see an issue with this. It's a small addition, and it's not going to be in any more violation of the setbacks.
It's a well-maintained property, just driving by it. It sounds to me he's doing it for all the right reasons. It's not going to change anything because of the way that the house was obviously built before zoning, the original home. So I think it'll add to the value.
The hardship here is the location of the foundation of the original house, and he testified tonight that there is no other location on the house where this addition can go. It doesn't appear as though it's going to negatively impact.
I'll make a motion to grant.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to grant. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Landis.
Yes.
Chief Nardelli.
Yes.
Mr. Sweeney.
Yes.
Ms. Greenberry.
Yes.
Chair Galligan.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, that is 5 in the affirmative.
Vote is 5 in the affirmative, none in the negative. The petition, as shown, is granted.
Thank you, members.
Good luck.
The next petition is 2605, the petition of Patrick Heffernan, 1325 Belmont Street, Brockton, Mass. For a variance, seeking relief from Article 3, Section 2713, Section 2713A, and Section 2729 for minimum lot width, lot area, frontage, and setback requirements to create 3 lots, 1 lot for the existing dwelling and 2 lots to build 2 single-family dwellings in an R1C zone located at 94 Wooded Avenue.
Good evening, Chairman, members of the board. Chris Vale on behalf of the applicant, petitioner Patrick Heffernan. This is a petition to the Board of Appeals seeking a variance to divide Plot 13 into 3 lots to build 2 new residential homes on the 2 newly created lots, while the existing residential home remaining on the last. In order to do so, Mr. Heffernan is seeking a variance from the board, seeking the relief from the city. This was a petition that was heard by this board back in August of 2024, in which it was denied based on the dwelling descriptions not comporting with the plans submitted. Although it did receive a 3-2 vote in favor, the board denied the petition primarily that the proposed houses would be too big for the given new lots. The petitioner appealed this decision and was granted a remand to return back to this board back on April 4th, 2025, from Brockton District Court, in which the petitioner has submitted new plans for the proposed homes. These new proposed homes are smaller and narrower to accommodate and fit properly in the unique shapes of the created lots. These homes are referred to as the Gormley homes. But some facts particular to this plot of land is that it's located at 94 Woodard Avenue in the city, in which it is in an R1C zone. The petitioner received a notice of approval from Brockton Planning Board on June 26, 2023, in which the definitive subdivision plan has been recorded accordingly at the Plymouth County Register of Deeds. The plot has 41,790 square feet of an area, which currently has one residential home on the front of the plot facing Woodard Avenue. The rear of this plot is currently overgrown with trees, where Mr. Heffernan will divide in order to construct 2 new residential homes in the back, which would face Wyoming Avenue from the rear. Lot A on the plan would consist of 23,270 square feet of lot area, would meet the frontage requirement by having 177 feet, would have 29.9 feet of a front setback, which currently exists, and would meet both the side and rear setback requirements of having 45.7 feet of siding and 56 feet of a rear setback. This lot has already a pre-existing residential home on it. The new created lots, B and C, would have the same dimensions, having 9,260 square feet of area, 90 feet of frontage, and meet the front, side, and rear setback requirements of having 32 feet of a front setback, 15.8 feet of siding, and 41 feet of a rear setback. Lot B and C would each have one newly constructed 4-bedroom residential home facing Wyoming Avenue, as well as have ample driveway parking space in between both new lots, as well as provide green space for the abutters. As shown on plans, we did include 2 trees for each lot. The newly created lots of B and C will still be larger than most lots on Wyoming Avenue currently. In regards to the hardship in the present case, Plot 13 does have a unique size, shape, location. The lot is a lot larger than all the other lots in the area. In addition, it sits on both Wyoming and Woodard Avenues. In addition, it has become overgrown to the rear, which makes it hard to keep clean, and has become a dumping site for debris and yard clippings. Mr. Heffernan continuously cleans up trash, debris, clippings, and falling tree branches every year from the property's rear. In addition, in the rear, there is an old pre-existing garage that does not fit in with the character of Wyoming Avenue from the rear. Having 2 new, nice constructed homes and cleaning up this rear of the plot will be beneficial to the neighborhood, and we ask for the board to grant it. That's all.
That's it. Board members, any questions? Just to remind the board, when this came before us the last time, as he mentioned, the plans that were submitted didn't match what we saw in the presentation. That became an issue. He is before us tonight with a different style of house that allows much more room between the current houses and the proposed new dwellings. Apparently, this has gone to court, and the judge has ruled that if there is a understanding tonight on this case, that court case will be dismissed.
Correct.
Okay.
It was a stipulation that would give us the right to come back to the board tonight. And then the case would be dismissed after.
So basically, the lots that we looked at last time are the same lots. The only difference is the style of house that you propose to put on the lot now is different than the one that we saw previously.
It's the same exact lots. It's just a smaller house that we feel would fit much better in the size of the lots. I believe the old house, when we first came, had a garage that made it closer to the abutters. So this Gormley-style house, we felt, would be more appropriate.
So we actually have granted a variance the last time around. We didn't grant it. We discussed the granting of the variance the last time around, but the hang-up was the dwellings.
Correct.
Now, you're telling us tonight that that old garage is going to come down,
Yes.
And there'll be no change in the lot that faces on Wooded Avenue.
Correct, besides what we propose from the rear.
Okay. Board members? Everybody's good? Okay, I'll close that portion of the hearing. I'm going to ask if there's anyone here that wants to speak in favor. I have a letter that has come in from Senator Michael Brady in support of Patrick Heffernan regarding his request for a variance of 94 Wooded Avenue. Brockton continues to face a strong need for additional housing, and this project would help address that need. Creating 2 additional homes would help meet the growing demand for housing and increase property tax revenue for the city. So basically, that is a letter in support. Is there anyone else here that wants to speak in favor? Seeing none, I'll close that portion of the hearing. Is there anyone that wants to speak in opposition? I have an email that has come in, and I don't know if actually this is in opposition or if it's a comment. And it's from a resident at 85 Wooded Avenue, and it says, "I prefer to see 94 Wooded Avenue to remain as it exists today." And actually, what we're talking about tonight technically is 94 Wooded Avenue, but the development is actually on Wyoming Avenue. It's some distance from this dwelling.
It is.
So I will just put that in, not so much as opposition as just a comment. Is there anyone that wants to speak in opposition? Seeing none, I'm going to close that portion of the hearing. Is there any elected official in the room that wants to be heard on the issue? Councilor.
Good evening again, Mr. Chairman, board members. I'm Phil Griffin. I'm the Ward 3 City Councilor. This project would be in my ward. I think this would be a very good project for the area. I think the reducing the size of the homes will create a little more green space and make a better fit for the neighborhood. I know the developer will be very conscious during the development process to make sure that the neighbors are taken care of in every way. You know, and irregardless of this, Mr. Heffernan owns this property, and he's spending quite a bit of time with these lots, picking up trash that's being dumped there. And I just think it would be a better fit for the community to have it developed than just being an open vacant lot where people are continually dumping leaves and mattresses and a bunch of other stuff that doesn't belong there. So this will obviously increase our tax base in the city of Brockton, which we need desperately. I think overall it's a great project for the neighborhood and the city. So I ask you to please confirm this tonight. Thank you very much, board members. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Councilor. Is there any other elected official in the room that wants to be heard on the issue? Seeing none, I'm going to close that portion of the hearing. Is there anyone in the room that has a question of the testimony that has been given tonight? Seeing none, I'm going to close that portion of the hearing. That concludes the public discussion. I will now open it up for deliberation among the board members. Board members.
I can say, just going by the property yesterday, I think putting these houses on these lots, and especially these Gormley houses, will fit the neighborhood very well, and it'll clean up the way it looks right now.
I'm actually glad that it was downsized. All too often we see, seeking relief, but, a much larger house in a form of progression for the neighborhood. But a smaller home becomes a little bit more affordable for folks and a little bit better, easier to maintain. So a few positive notes on the change.
Yeah, I agree. I think these houses look nicely in the neighborhood. And I think it'll be a shame for these lots to go to waste and just be a dumping ground. And but I think it's a nice project for the neighborhood.
I think, too, to that point, I know I already spoke, but I think to that point, the developer has gone to great lengths to divide these lots, and someone eventually is going to buy these and put something on it. These are nice homes that I think would look very nice in that neighborhood. It'll fit the neighborhood well.
It's a dull spot in the neighborhood that's unmaintained, and the best way to maintain it is ownership. So it's not in every case, of course, but in this case, I think it fits.
It's definitely an improvement.
So one thing I looked at is the overall layout of the neighborhood, and these proposed lots with these two houses certainly is in conformance with what is in the neighborhood right now. And these lots, in many cases, are gonna be larger than what's already down there. So,
I'll make a motion to grant.
Second.
you guys are fast. All right, a motion is made and seconded to grant. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Lannis.
Yes.
Chief Nardelli.
Yes.
Mr. Sweeney.
Yes.
Ms. Greenberry.
Yes.
Chair Galligan.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, that is 5 in the affirmative.
The vote is 5 in the affirmative, none in the negative. The petition as presented is granted.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Well, having no further business to come before the meeting tonight.
Motion
I will
to adjourn.
entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to adjourn. We are adjourned.